Hello, welcome to Podcast vs. Player, episode 119. I'm one of your hosts, Cal, and I'm joined by a man who's been picked up to direct the Minecraft movie. He's hoping it'll be a blockbuster. It's only bloody Dan.
Hey, not bad. I like
Not
that.
bad. See, I had time. I had preparation time.
These little jokes at the start, these should be outstanding, surely.
Let's not build up the expectations too much.
Oh, I never do. About anything we ever do.
How the devil are you? You sound ill.
I am a bit ill, unfortunately.
That's not good.
I've got SARS, I think.
SARS.
Yeah, it's either SARS. You'll be hearing a lot of that. My apologies. I don't know. It's probably best I just don't talk, to be honest.
Well,
I'm just going to go for a shit and sign off.
We'll catch up with Dan in a bit. See if he's managed to avoid soiling himself.
How are you then?
I'm not too bad. I have gotten over. I had the last podcast, episode 118, available on iTunes.
All right, calm down.
Castbox. It actually started off with you saying, "You don't sound very well, Carl."
Not really.
No. I made a joke that I had the Aussie flu. Turned out I actually did have the Aussie flu.
Yeah.
And
I definitely
severe
don't have
stomach
SARS,
cramps.
but
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, absolutely not. But I've got some horrible cough. I feel fine. Honestly, my brain and everything works absolutely fine. It's just my throat and nose is a bit bleh.
Well, this will cheer you up, Dan. Speaking of being ill, this episode of the PvP podcast is brought to you by GameSeek.
I thought you were going to say Boots.
It's by Boots, where you can buy all your medication. It's brought to you by GameSeek, its greatest gaming store. Right now, you can head over and pre-order Red Dead Redemption 2 on Xbox One and PS4, and we'll have more from them later on.
Sorry, I know you're trying to do an ad plug and stuff. I'm just slowly dying in the background. Oh god, I feel terrible.
I've also noticed, Dan, on the press release that was sent for the affiliate deals for this podcast.
Apologies, affiliates.
Sorry?
Apologies to the affiliates.
Yeah, we're sorry. There's some more coming up later. Don't worry. That it's changed from the UK and Europe's #1 online video game retail store.
You're joking? That's our go-to joke for them.
I know. It's now Earth's greatest gaming store.
Earth's greatest gaming store.
Yeah. It's easier to say, and we can get it in quick.
GameSeek, Earth's greatest video game retailer. That's I mean, it's a hell of a claim, but either way, I prefer saying that than.
There's some good deals, man.
There are some good deals, and I won't. Oh, I just.
Right. Let's do some news.
I can't. I just honestly, every time I'm about halfway through a sentence, I can feel another cough coming, and I just sort of think I'm just going to stop there, and I don't want to cough anymore down the microphone. But you crack the fuck on.
I'll try and edit it out as much as I can. The news we've all been waiting for, Dan. Today, EA confirmed that microtransactions are coming back to Star Wars Battlefront 2 in April. Although this time round, you will only be able to purchase cosmetic items.
Oh, well done.
That is, those that do not affect gameplay.
Yeah.
Previously, EA let you pay for an opportunity to get items that gave you a theoretical advantage, such as improved grenades or shields. Now, though, that's all gone. And if you just want to look snazzy, you can chuck some money at it.
Good. Well, I think we've always been behind that sort of concept, though. You know, with microtransactions, if you want to spend money on a game, unless obviously it's a free-to-play game, in which case, if you want to charge a $5 for things that will help you play better, maybe fine. You haven't paid anything for the game. It's entirely up to you if you want to put the extra money into it. For something that you've actually spent decent amounts of money on, though, especially if it's a AAA game, you're going to be spending £45, $60, whatever. Then, if you're charging for more content within the game itself after you've already purchased it, it should be DLC, but pretty good DLC. And if it's microtransactions, it should only be for aesthetics. So it's gun skins, or you can change your outfits or whatever. Anything that helps you become better. And you could just throw money at it, and then you increase your chances of getting some sweet loot or something like that people would have to usually grind for. That's when we have a real problem. And I think that maybe after the shit show that happened after Battlefront 2 came out, maybe they've taken that on board finally and said, okay, well, we're still going to put them in there, but it won't actually make any difference. You can just look cooler than everybody else.
I think if it's single player, I'm not going to buy the stuff anyway, but I think if it's purely single player and it's a means of, say I can't think of a game off the top of my head, but the game is 80 hours long, and you work long days, and you've got kids and stuff, and you haven't got time to, you can't play as much as you want to, and they offer you a way to advance through the game a bit quicker by buying these microtransactions. If it's a single player game and it doesn't give you an advantage over somebody,
another player,
then I'm fine with that. I'm still not going to buy it. I'll just take my time playing it. But if the option's there, such as in Assassin's Creed Origins, then that's fine. I don't mind as much. But if it means that I refuse to pay for a microtransaction, and if I can just unlock the weapon or the armor or whatever, I'll just play and unlock it. But then I've been playing it for 4 months, and I'm getting pretty close to unlocking it. And then some fella in Blue Uruguay just logs on for the first time and just goes, "Wow, that gun's cool," and then just buys it and then obliterates me. Then that's where I have a problem, because I don't think anybody should be given the option to have such a. There's going to be people that can't afford to buy them, for starters, and it's not fair in a multiplayer environment to give people that kind of advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's pretty much for the sort of the majority of gamers. I think that's pretty much the mentality across the board.
Yeah,
is that you don't want to have a disadvantage to someone who's paid for an advantage. It's not fair.
Well, I remember when Little Big Planet came out.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and I spent a considerable amount of money on the PlayStation Store buying all the Marvel skins for Sackboy.
Right.
And I'm talking like they were £3 a pop, and I bought like probably all 60 or however many there was.
Jesus.
But I didn't have bills to pay.
Yeah.
It was all good then.
Yeah.
Now I refuse to buy that kind of thing because I have a mortgage. But anyway, moving on. Speaking of unlockable characters, Dan, a certain Witcher character is a playable character in the new Soul Calibur.
Ciri?
Nope.
Yennefer?
I like how, of all the characters from The Witcher, you went for not the protagonist.
Well, you're also assuming that I haven't seen this news.
No, obviously. Everybody's seen it. I think I tweeted this out yesterday.
I think you did, actually, yeah.
Yes, Bandai Namco and CD Projekt Red have announced, in addition, a stage based on the Witcher series.
Yeah, it's Ken Warren.
It is, yeah. It'll be available as one of the game's arenas. And the Witcher himself will, according to a statement, quote, keep his signature fighting style in his transition from open world RPG to fighting game. And he'll be able to utilise a combination of swordplay, ability-enhancing potions, and combat magic. Also, the guy who voices him will be providing the voice as well.
Oh, awesome.
So that's pretty cool. And
that's a pretty good character, yeah.
It's a good choice. It's not one I would have... If they'd have said, we're going to announce a new character towards the end of the month, free copy the game to anybody that guesses who it is. There's no fucking way I would have said that. No way.
I mean, the thing is, though, the Soul Calibur series has always had a way of pulling out weird characters. And, because, like, wasn't, am I right in thinking this? Was one of the Metal Gear characters? Was that...
That was Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
But one, I can't remember the number, but one of the Soul Calibur games on original Xbox, GameCube and PS2 all had had their own character. The Xbox had Spawn.
Really?
Why Spawn, I don't know, but they had Spawn. The GameCube had Link, and the PlayStation... Who did the PlayStation have? I can't remember now who the PlayStation had. I also remember, and I could be wrong, we might have to look this up in a minute, I seem to remember there being a Star Wars character as well.
It was in Soul Calibur 4.
Was it?
Xbox 360 had Yoda, PS3 had Darth Vader.
That was it,
Oh,
yeah.
no, they also had Ezio, Starkiller from Force Unleashed. and I want to say someone else. I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, I've always liked the sort of like the random, because they like you say, that they always seem to be ones that are not the first thing you'd think of. I mean, Mortal Kombat have kind of done it as well, because they've said, oh, Alien and Predator, sure, we'll stick them in there as well. Yeah. I do like the sort of like crazy fighter characters that some of these companies go for. They are pretty cool.
With the exception of Link, like, because realistically, who else is Nintendo going to put in there?
That's true.
Realistically,
yeah.
And he does fit the style of like the fighters, like with the big swords and the big shields and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why, which is another brilliant character. But who thought of Spawn?
I know, right? It's not as if he's been relevant in general media for a while.
Well, I had it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I had the Xbox version of it, and I did enjoy playing as Spawn, and Spawn is cool as fuck. But like, you would have thought, especially at the time, let's push Master Chief.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he would have been a better choice, but I mean, in terms of marketing, I mean, like, I can't remember who it was on the PlayStation. It's really annoying. So let's just say it was Nathan Drake. It wasn't.
Yeah, someone like
we'll just
that.
say it was. It's like, buy it on
Crash
PlayStation. Oh, no, it wouldn't have been Nathan Drake. It was on fucking PS fucking 2. So it wouldn't have been Nathan. So let's say fucking Tommy Vercetti from GTA.
Sure.
That's who we've got on PlayStation. Nintendo's got Link, like one of the most popular video game characters of all time. Xbox has got Spawn.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? It's like Halo was like probably one of the most popular games of that generation.
It's all licensing though, isn't it? It's all licensing.
Yeah, Microsoft could have licensed it.
No, I mean that they can acquire, and do something with it. I mean, was it Kratos or something like that on the PS?
Oh, it might have been, yeah. I'm gonna have a look while we're talking. Hayachi from Street Fighter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course, Tekken. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes fucking sense.
Hayachi, he's from Tekken, you idiot, not Street Fighter.
Did I say Street Fighter?
Yeah.
Oh, Tekken. I had Tekken in my head.
Tit.
The old dude in the nappy.
This wasn't Street Fighter on bloody Nintendo first.
I think you'll actually find, Dan, it was in the arcades first.
I mean home console, you pedantic fanny ass.
I think it came out on the Mega Drive at the same time, didn't it?
Oh, God, really?
I'm pretty sure it did.
What a garbage port that must have been.
Fuck off. I loved my Mega Drive.
Hey, so did I. I also know that it was a bag of shit sometimes.
Had better sound. The sound card in the the sound card in the Super Nintendo was better than the Mega Drive, actually. I can't remember. It was like 25 years ago.
I know, right? Yeah.
Xbox's E3 press conference has been dated. Microsoft has officially confirmed its plans for E3 2018. Rather than have its usual presence inside the Los Angeles Convention Center, where E3 takes place, Microsoft is moving the bulk of its efforts across the street to the nearby Microsoft Theater in LA Live. The company says this will make for the company's, quote, biggest E3 showing ever. Now, we played E3 Bingo last year.
Yeah, we did.
And we did it live on the Xbox E3 show. I think we got a bingo, if I remember rightly.
I don't think we got a bingo. I think we might have got a few lines.
Oh, I can't remember. But it was fun. It was great.
Yeah.
Fun fact, not that fun. Many years ago, probably like 2009, 2010, something like that. This podcast was born from watching the Microsoft E3 press conference.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
There we go. So there's a bit of a callback. That was after Tech Beaver died on its arse, and
I wish we had.
There's hope yet, Stars boy.
I know, yeah.
But the Microsoft E3 press conference will be scheduled to take place on the Sunday, which is June the 10th at 1 p.m. PT. Following that, it will host Xbox FanFest events, hands-on demos for E3 attendees, and more. Quote, not only does the Microsoft Theatre allow us to centralise our Xbox presence at E3, but its size enables us to include even more fans and partners in the Xbox E3 2018 briefing. And that was from corporate VP Mike Nichols in an Xbox Wire post. Now, there's been a lot of rumours that E3 is slowly dying, right? And this announcement, probably made in collaboration with the ESA, no doubt kind of shows that E3 isn't as relevant as it used to be. Sony have got their own show. Microsoft are making their own show. Nintendo does its Nintendo Direct. Nintendo didn't even go last year.
Yeah.
So, do you think we are going to start seeing a lot more of these standalone conferences from the likes of Microsoft and Sony instead of... Because, I mean, like, Sony will go to E3, they'll show a bunch of stuff, but they'll save all the big announcements for their PSX conferences.
Yeah, or they want to make a big deal out of it.
Exactly.
But I don't know, personally speaking, I prefer one stage. Like, I prefer them to come out and, like, battle it out. Like, I almost want them to do it sort of side by side. Like,
yeah.
You know, like they're fighting for custody or something. Like, I want them to come out and just say, and here's Halo 6, and look at this, look how amazing this is. And then, like, the spotlight turns on the Sony guys, and they're just like, yeah, you're right, that does look pretty good. You know, we've always been fans of Halo. Oh, here's a new Uncharted, and then that just plays, and everyone's like, oh my god, and they go, oh wow, Uncharted, that's great. Here's the new Forza. Here's a new car.
Yeah,
like,
that would be brilliant.
A proper back and forth.
I don't know how that'd work. I think it'd be dead fun for us, but I think it'd just be constantly one-upping each other.
But that's the point. That's the competitive nature.
Yeah, that's
where
it is.
Keep it a console war. I mean, I know that's what the community, I suppose, has named it.
Yeah.
And that may not be how they view it. Excuse me.
They're essentially business partners, realistically.
Well, you know, they've kind of got to play off each other, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see it in that sort of like PC Mac kind of thing. You know, where they kind of they can. They don't take themselves too seriously. You know, they can kind of take the piss out of each other and themselves at the same time.
Well, they showed that with the unveiling when Xbox One went first, and then that just completely tanked.
Yeah,
and Sony obviously were backstage making notes of what not to do, and then they've came out and just gone,
yeah,
here's everything you want.
Yeah, what they said that they don't do. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, I mean, I have no doubt at all that a lot of the things Microsoft were doing, Sony was going to be doing similar stuff, and they basically just scrapped, like, say...
Well, this is where I like the idea of,
shit.
like, they don't have that opportunity. They've both got to put their cards on the table at the same time. So it doesn't look like one is doing better than the other because one's had more time to think it over, maybe.
Yeah.
They just sort of... They both have to put their cards on the table, and everyone judges it, you know, with what they've got. But to put the sort of like their first party exclusives side by side, that opens it up to then, oh well, you know, Xbox have only shown 3, but Sony are already on their 6th. You know, so you know they keep the sort of the Ubisoft and the EA and the Activision things all separate. You know, and they show whatever projects they're working on, and you keep the first party exclusives purely for the Xbox and PlayStation reveals. You know, they're sort of like...
That's going to be a short Microsoft show.
Well, that's that's what I mean, though. That's why if you put them side by side, it will be plainly obvious that they don't have as much to offer, which should hopefully give them a kick in the arse to say, if we want to be able to stand on this stage next to these guys, we need to be able to, you know, keep our heads above the water. We need to be able to show as much as them, or at least if we're not going to be able to show as much, either we've got new content or better content.
Yeah.
And if they can't do that, then you know they're pitching. Ultimately, they're sales pitching to the people who are going to be able to buy this stuff.
Yeah.
And they need to be able to convince people that yes, that Xbox was a good investment, and this is what's coming up, or yes, this is worth buying, and here's why. And
that's the difference between them, though, isn't it? I mean, I personally, at least anyway, the exclusives on offer on PlayStation. It's not. There's a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of first party content on PlayStation. That's kind of their thing. But there's not many that aren't super well received. Like you've got your Uncharted and your God of Wars and Bloodborne and stuff like that, and they're all very, very well received. And then Microsoft's got like the last couple of Halos haven't been super well received. They haven't been shit by any means, but they haven't been super well received. Gears 4 didn't do particularly well review wise. Forza's just a racing game, and that's it. and then you got Sea of Thieves coming up, which granted looks brilliant. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Can Sea of Thieves go against God of War in terms of AAA status? And obviously, you got The Last of Us out as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's fair to compare the two.
It's not. It's completely different games.
Yeah, but I think that what they've done with Sea of Thieves is that they've made a game that people go, oh, I'd love to play that.
Yeah.
Whereas with God of War, it's just like, oh, another God of War. That's going to be great because it's God of War. In the same way that you could safely buy an Uncharted without watching the trailer or reading a single review about it, because you know what you're going to get yourself into. It's like with many good developers.
Yeah, like
you
Rockstar,
don't need to know.
Example.
Yeah, Rockstar just say, we're making a new GTA, and people go, brilliant, where can I pre-order it?
Yeah.
In exactly the same way that I would.
Yeah.
You just go, oh, we're making a new Red Dead. And you go, brilliant, I'll have that, please.
Well, Dan
Like,
won't.
Well, yeah, I won't. Not through choice, though, I can guarantee you that. But I don't know, I just want to... I don't think... I don't want E3 to die. Because I like this shared stage. I like them all coming out and saying, this is what we've got, this is what we've got, this is what we've got.
Yeah.
Without having to, because then it's all done in a couple of days, Everyone could just get together, you just have one big blowout, everyone gets together and shows what they've got. Rather than having, 4 or 5 different events, and then if independent companies want to do one as well, like combined, then that's like sort of like 4 or 5 dates. They're not all going to be necessarily within the same couple of weeks. So that's like certain points. And, obviously the time difference in different countries is going to be a nightmare as well. Whereas if it's all just on one stage over 3 days, you know where you can go and watch it. And you know what time of year it's going to be out. And then you can watch all of them in one big go. Without having to say, okay, well, we watched the Microsoft one in this month. Then the Sony one's out a month later. And then... third-party ones are going to be out 2 months after that. It's just, I don't know, it just seems like it makes a lot more sense to just have a big blowout all in one go, rather than space it out. But I get what you mean, though. If you want to make your conference on your terms, obviously, then you don't have to worry about, oh, well, the stage isn't going to be big enough to have this fireball explosion or whatever. Remember what happened with the Sony one, where they had, like, the orchestra?
That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty great. I mean, considering it's just a fucking... game show, for God's sake. Some theatre productions don't have production values like that.
Well, the beauty of that was, though, it was a big theatre, but it felt, obviously we didn't feel it, but it was like very intimate. But the fact that the orchestra provided the music for everything that was being shown, it was just really clever, and it was a very smart show. Game wise, it was. Oh, we kind of knew that was coming, and we knew that was coming. Well, that was a big surprise, but no, we knew about this already. It wasn't the top end billing conference that it usually is for Sony, but in terms of production and stuff, it was great. But I will say the same about. I think. In terms of production, last year's E3, Microsoft was better. It was a much bigger show, and they had the Xbox One X to reveal and stuff, and the car apparently, and Sony kind of just came out and just went, "Hiya, here's some games," and that was it. And but the games were better. There was better games shown at the Sony show, but there wasn't. There was no stage show at all.
Spunked their biscuits on the one that they were doing themselves.
That's what I said. Meant earlier. And then PSX came, and there was a lot of games we knew about already, so there wasn't a lot of big surprises. But we got to see more in-depth look at Spider-Man and more in-depth look at God of War, and there was a new Last of Us trailer and stuff like that. And I don't know, like the last few years, Nintendo have opted out of E3 to do their own Nintendo Direct live, not like on the internet broadcasts. And I don't know, I think it gives you more chance to get your show popularised. Is that a word? Yeah. So like everyone's excited for E3, but you've got to share that excitement with other companies Whereas if you've got your own show, everyone's excited for PSX, and it's just you.
Yeah, but it's that kind of exclusion that puts me off. Like, it's, this isn't just about, oh, I'm going there just for Microsoft. You should be going there for gaming.
Yeah, but that's why I love E3. I get so excited.
You do realise that, like, by the time that someone offers us to, have some press passes or whatever and goes to E3, it'll be the year that it dies on its arse, and then no one ever goes to it again.
Yeah, because we were there. You ruined gaming. But no, I mean, we was not last year before. We was on about going to Gamescom. I mean, it's not as good as, it's nowhere near as good as E3, but you get to test out a lot of cool stuff. And when we had the email through about it, I can't remember the exact reasons why, but neither of us could go. And James went in the end, but he only went for one day. But all the games he wanted to test were on the day after. So I mean, he said it was good and stuff, but yeah. So I mean, it would have been nice to have been able to gone to it, but I think this year and probably next year we'll put more effort into that kind of stuff, because we need to we need to get some money back. Speaking of money, GameSeek, greatest gaming store, currently has Far Cry 5 available on pre-order on PS4 for £42.68 and Xbox One for £42.74, as well as Sea of Thieves on Xbox One for £39.88. This podcast brought to you by GameSeek, Earth's greatest gaming store. So, on about games.
Nice segue. Yeah,
was that a good segue?
Yeah,
I think.
No, we'll stop you there. 42. What was it? 42.71 for the Far Cry Xbox.
74.
74
on Xbox One. £42.74.
Oh, right. I was gonna say for a console disc. Is that digital or is that a disc?
No. That's physical.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap. Because
Yeah,
usually
it's a
they're
good
like £60.
Told you. GameSeeker's greatest gaming store.
Wow, bloody hell. They've impressed me with that. That's a pretty good deal.
I was a bit disappointed because that was the pre-order for Far Cry 5. It's actually cheaper on PS4, £42.68. Red Dead Redemption 2 was like £49 something. But it has been going up and down between 46 and 49 through the week. But as of this recording, it is £49. GameSeek I'm not sure if they still are. When the Switch was when you could pre-order the Switch, they had the price promise guarantee. So if it gets cheaper, you'll get some money back.
That's pretty good.
I don't know if they're doing that with GTA. I should have checked beforehand, but I imagine they are. But it's going to sell. Doesn't matter how much it fucking is.
Yeah, I'll be getting it for sure
when it comes out on PC.
No, Far Cry.
Oh, Far Cry, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Looked brilliant. Slightly disappointing. Speaking of Far Cry, there will be microtransactions, which I was a bit upset about. I was hoping when it was pushed back again after, this was not long after the Battlefront 2 fiasco, and Far Cry was then announced that it was being pushed back. I thought it was because there was microtransactions and they were taking them all out. Turns out I was wrong. I don't know how it'll affect the online gameplay, or because it is fast progression transactions.
It depends on whether the online is competitive online or if it's just co-op online.
It's co-op online, but the map editors and stuff, I believe there is like deathmatch and that. One cool thing, I don't know if you've seen it actually, you can make your own level.
Yeah,
like
I have
like
seen
a
that.
level edit.
Yeah,
it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that looks real cool. Like the arcade mode.
No. You can use assets from other Ubisoft games.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, like there's the Assassin's Creed and Watch Dog things.
Yeah.
Yeah, how cool's that?
It looks amazing.
See,
I don't know if
they're taking the. I'm sure they must be taking the lead from Rockstar on this by just saying, as long as we give people the tools, they will play online forever.
Yeah.
Like GTA 5, people still play that online.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much to do. But it's because they say you can make your own shit and then everyone else can play it. People just get these mad ideas. And then that, again, it's a bit more life into it.
Well, do you think you're going to have to own these games in order to use the assets, or do you think they will provide you with like a tool?
Yeah, I
imagine select bits and pieces.
Yeah, it'll be pre-made stuff, I reckon.
No.
Otherwise, they'd just be like, okay, well, why can't I just pull in assets from any game? Imagine the kind of crazy shit you could get up to with that.
God, don't, Dan. I think I'm one of the reasons Far Cry is still made. I think, with the exception of different versions, like I didn't buy like the Wii version of Far Cry 2, but I did buy it on PS2. I bought Blood Dragon like 7 times, and I bought Primal. I've had it, the first one on original Xbox. I've had bloody Instincts. I've had on the pretty much all of them. And I'm so excited for Far Cry. I'm actually more excited for Far Cry 5 than I am for Red Dead.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I think, but that's probably because you
can't
play
it.
Get Red Dead. But I think if they were coming out on the same day, it'd be a different story. But I love Far Cry.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so fun, and the fact that this one is online co-op from the beginning to the end, it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
that was one of the main things I hated about Far Cry 4 is it was only certain missions that you could play co-op.
Yeah,
it was annoying. But yeah, I'm all up for it. Can't fucking wait. Who are you going to choose, Dan? For your partner?
What do you mean?
Is it like in Far Cry 5, like you can choose like Boomer the dog, and then you can choose the guy, and you can choose whatever the other people are called?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I specifically avoid this kind of shit, so it's not as, it's a total surprise when I start playing.
Oh, right. Well, disregard what I just said.
I've already forgotten. Don't you worry about it.
Oh, it was all a dream. That's it. I've got no news, Dan. That's it. I'm done.
Oh, great.
I've got no news.
I'm so relieved.
Dan's dying, so I don't think it's fair to keep him tied up any longer than he needs to be.
Probably not.
Dan hasn't been here. Dan has been away for a couple of weeks. 2 weeks, was it?
No, it was 1 week.
1 week. It felt longer.
Yeah.
It was great. So in Dan's lack of presence, myself and Zoe played some Emily Wants to Play 2, and by the time this podcast is up, that will be available for you to peruse with your eyes. It's quite a funny video. I actually shit myself.
Oh, good.
Not literally. I tell you what though, I went to the doctors the other day because I haven't been very well, and I'd had some bad stomach cramps, and I was lay on the table, and I've lost like quite a lot of weight from stupid illness.
Yeah.
But I've been with the stomach cramps. I've been really bloated, and it sounds horrible, but the best way to do it. I mean, I'm a thin guy anyway, and it was like an Ethiopian kid.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like really fucking bloated. Anyway, I was lay on the bed thing at the doctor's, and she was like just feeling around and shit. And it was like my right side that hurt, and she was on the left. She's like, "Does that hurt?" I was like, "Not really." And then she was moving around, and then she got like just above my groin, and she pressed, and literally as soon as her fingers pressed, I was like, "I'm so sorry." But it was like, when you can feel like, as Zoe now calls it, a bottom sneeze. When you can feel one brewing, there was none of that. It was like, it literally, I wasn't sure if I farted or I shit myself.
She just pressed the magic button that just opened the valve.
That was it, mate. Honestly, like for the rest of that day, it was like somebody left the door open and there's just a draft. I was going to get a draft exclusion and just stick it on my arse.
Oh, no.
Where was I going with that?
I know.
I don't know. Yeah, some other stuff. So there'll be some new videos going up. The website has had a massive redesign, so you can go check that out at www.podcastversusplayer.com. You check out the channel at youtube.com/podcastversusplayer, Twitter at podcastvplayer, Instagram at podcastversusplayer, and you can check out and subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Castbox, Stitcher, Blurberry, some other stuff. It's all over the place. There's loads of links. They're all on the website, and they'll be in this description. We've had a bunch of new merchandise added to the PvP store, which again, link will be in the description. Go check some of those things out. And if you like anything, why don't you buy it? Keep us in business. Dan, thanks for coming back.
You're quite welcome.
I'm kind of wishing you'd stayed away a bit longer.
Thanks, man.
I'm getting spit all over the place.
I know.
Hopefully, Dan will be back for the next podcast. Yeah. He might have died of SARS.
Can I count this as my last will and testament?
As long as I get everything that's not bills and debt related.
No, you get whatever infection that I've currently
Dan is
got
actually in my will.
That's true. I actually am.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Don't get anything good.
That. You do. You get all my games, all my comics.
Oh, I thought I just got the dogs.
The dogs, if they're still around.
Yeah, two extra mouths to feed.
Right, let's go before you fucking pass out.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you in a fortnight. Bye.